Alrighty, we got a game. Let's do this. It is time. What is this hand looking like? Well, we have a dot in the offsuit, so we can't really go for a flush that easily. But for the time being, we're going to go ahead and drop one bean. It's not really that useful for a hand anyways. There's a chance for us to turn into Itsu, which would be nice, I guess. Let's say we pair up the Doa, right? Then that would be a way for us to open and get an expensive hand. This one's kind of weird. I think it's about time to drop the Yakai around here, around this time. Definitely don't want to drop the 4. The question is, do you want to drop the 2? And that's a bit of an interesting question. I'm not really sure. But when in doubt, you can just go ahead and drop the honors and be fine with it. There are lots of Soza being dropped by these other players though, so maybe it'll be a bit easier for us to draw them ourselves, considering that if there are no Soza in these guys' hands, then there will be more copies in the wall. That being said, we're still going to go ahead and drop these honors. Not really. This player over here definitely looks like they're doing something non-standard, considering they're dropping lots of these Sozu before this honor tile, right? Now there's a con going on, which, okay. Yeah, that's not good. To say the least, that is not very good. Because of the, what's called the, what do we do now? Shoot. Okay, tell me what. 1-0? 1-0. Let's try 1-0 for now. I'm not really sure. We got safe tiles against the dealer. The problem with this is number 1 dealer now has 4 Han, or 5 Han guaranteed, right? 9 Han guaranteed. Is that going to get pwned? It's going to get pwned by the player to the right, which is definitely, okay. Everyone's opening. This is good news for us, actually. Okay, so let's think. I think what we want to do is skedaddle. But how exactly do we skedaddle? Yeah. These players look like they might be able to win a hand, which is great. So as long as we make sure that we don't deal to any of these dudes, we should be able to minimize the risk of us dealing in and losing points, right? Is that going to get called by the dealer? No, it is not. Okay. Yeah, the nice thing is that the dealer the dealer over here has no way of getting... Let's just go ahead and drop the 5, I don't know. No Yakuhai. Yeah. They have no Yakuhai anymore because they only have... Okay, well, actually, technically they could have double East, huh? Okay, well, if they have double East, this is their tile that they need. But since they have no... okay, they don't have double East. Since they don't have double East, they also can't have any dragons or anything like that, so... If they were to stay Dama, for example, which they did not, they would have had to... they would have had to have a Yaku like Tiny Owl, probably. Yeah. So it would be a little bit easier for us to sort of predict what tiles would be in their weight. And that being said, now that they've called Rishi, we can't really do anything to predict their what they're waiting on or anything like that, or we don't have as many hints as to what they're waiting on, I should say. As it turns out, they were... oh my god. Is it over? Oh, no, it can't be over. It can't be over. They have to win 11 Han in order for it to be over. But, yeah. This is Baiman. It's not enough. But, now that some player over here has gotten down to 1,000 points, it is very possible that this game is just going to go ahead and end this turn. So, or this round, I should say. This hand. So what should we do? We should try and get second place before the chance slips away from us. And the chances that we're looking for that can give us first place are... I think it's okay to drop the 2 on over here. Are just trying to win this hand. Ideally with 3 Han, so then we can, sumo and end it as well. What do we do? Can we drop the Doa? No. Just drop the tune. Yeah. It's fine. The reason why I dropped the 2 over here is because, number 1, even if we draw the 3, well, at least we're making a Liankan over here. Number 2, kind of don't really want to drop the Dora over here because, that's value. Number 3, the tune allows us to call, right? And make this hand worth it. well, not worth it, but it makes it easier for this hand to win, I should say, right? Yeah. Here we're going to go ahead and drop the 5 pin, and now we've got a way to call this hand, right? We have Itsu. This is one reason why I was making sure to keep this, what's it called? The 1-2 Pentana right here. Should be pretty good. Yeah. Now we're gonna Chi, take Ichanten. Again, what we really want to do is win, and in order to win, we need to get into Tenpai first. Here, even though we've lost our third Han, it's gonna, you know, we can have 2 Han, which is still pretty good. 2 Han Tenpai is good. It definitely busts out this player. I mean, it would have busted out this player if they dealt in even with 1 Han because of the, what's it called over here? Because of the bonus stick right here. But yeah, we do need to get in Tenpai, and now we are in Tenpai. Huge. We're 2 Han, as we said before. If we do end up drawing the red 5, then we can also end it, but that's not very likely. Either way, we're very happy with getting into Tenpai now. It was pretty difficult with all the bad shapes that we had, but that is another reason why we were looking for a Yaku that we can open with. And that Yaku was Yitsu. It could have been the Red Dragon. Oh. I do not think we can hold this. Yeah, we can't hold this. I want to... Oh, okay, they're just gonna Sumo. Or, yeah, okay, they're gonna Sumo. I want to be able to win if we can Sumo. Or, I want to be able to get 2nd place if we Sumo. Or, you know, what's it called? If... Oh my god. What is going on with this game? That is a big hand. Congrats. Very impressive, actually. But, alright, yes. I wanted to be able to get 2nd place if we won Sumo or by them dealing. So, yeah. What do you do now? I mean, there's a chance for... I don't know, man. I'm gonna drop the 1. Maybe this one was better. I don't think it's correct to drop the Yakai over here now. Just because, well, it would be nice to get a Yaku. And, yeah, the question here is if this one is worth anything. I think I'm okay with dropping it south over here now, because, I mean, if we draw the 2 pin, we can get potentially Itsu, although, I mean, is Itsu really that important? Maybe not. It still gives us a bit more shape, I guess. At this point, we can just go ahead and drop the 1 pin, I think, though. Is that true? Yeah, I think it's true enough. The problem with keeping this content is that even if we draw, like, the 3-mon over here, the Ichanten that we get is kind of not good, because, well, I mean, we have to drop our Sanjoku, and then we have, like, Kanchan plus a, we have a Kanchan plus a Lianmen, not even guaranteed to have any value at all. But I think it's probably good enough to keep the Kanchan over here still, even though it's not really guaranteed to give us value. Oh, okay, now we're gonna get rid of the Kanchan over here. Yeah, sure, we'll just go ahead and drop the 4-2. This 6 allows us to get Yishanten on the 5, so, which is better than this Kanchan over here, which is true that drawing the 3-man over here gives us Yishanten. But the shape that we have over here by dropping the 4-2 versus dropping the 6 is just a lot better, right? We definitely weren't going to go ahead and drop the 9 because that loses our chance at value like we have right now. The question now is, are we going to drop the Kanchan or... when in doubt, drop the Kanchan? Yeah. This way we get to guarantee a good weight, even though I guess the 4-7 really isn't that good of a weight anyways. So, that might have been a problem, but... Okay, Richi? Yeah, Richi. Yeah, it's true that the 4-7 isn't really that great of weight anyways, because there's only 5 tiles left, and I mean, compared to, you know, this content which has 4 tiles left, it's really not that big of a difference. But, well, when in doubt, I'm gonna take the lighter weight, I guess. There's Pinfu, so Richi Pinfu plus 1 Dora is already pretty strong. And at least, you know, if the dealer wants to push, you know, they're probably gonna have to drop 4-7 if they draw it. So that's like a tiny plus, maybe. But either way, there's really nothing else for us to do at this point, so... yeah, I mean, can we cut this? Yeah, I think we'll cut this. Alright, looks like we dealt in. That is perfectly fine. I would have liked to win, but that's, you know, we will gladly, well, maybe not gladly, but we will readily take the deal in. Calling Ricci was worth it in my opinion, so there's really nothing to be frustrated about. What are we doing here? This is a horrible hand. Oh my god. Well, for the time being, let's just go ahead and drop these, I don't know. Probably was better to drop the West first, because I don't really want this player to get it, but, well, whatever. When in doubt, just go ahead and drop these guys. Yeah, we can still try and build a hand here. I mean, it really is not a good hand, and, you know, I would like to try and get value if possible, right? Build value with by keeping the honors, but where is the value? I do not know any way to turn this into value, besides for just, you know, playing this normally. I mean, now that we have 3 pairs, there's a chance it turns to 7 pairs, but yeah, it's not good. It's not good. So yeah, I mean, when in doubt, just drop your honors, play for the regular hand. This hand really should be defensive, if we can help it, which is honestly pretty close to, like, now. I kind of want to just drop the 3 pin or something like that, because I'm scared, and this hand kind of sucks. Probably the bots will hate this move, but I'm okay with being this defensive, I guess. Just because, I mean, come on. That's such a bad hand. I'm gonna keep some defense if one of these guys calls Ricci, right? I mean, like, the dealer has been dropping a bunch of tiles over here. Yeah, okay, there's a Ricci. And so yeah, I'm very happy that we were able to get this 3-pin out of our hands before the dealer called Ricci. Now we can just fold against them, no problem whatsoever. I mean, there's still a bit of a problem because we don't have any safe tiles, but whatever. What I mean is that there's no more real decisions for us to make. Here, West should be safest, I guess. I mean, 9 should be extremely safe as well, but is 9 safer? I think 9 might be safer, actually. Oh, whatever. It's not really that big of a deal, I think. Probably. Let's just go ahead and drop the 1. So, 1 mon now. Is it 1 mon, or is it... I think it might be 9. Because the player to the right might be reaching soon. And, well, I mean... Okay, I guess the 9 so is really safe against them, too. So it was probably not a risk worth taking to drop the 9 so before the 1 mon, but, well, whatever. Alright, now we're gonna drop the 1 mon, too. I was thinking that if, you know, the player to the right called Ricci the next turn, for example, I would like to keep the 1 mon in hand because it's completely safe against them, but the 9 so is also basically safe against them, too, so considering they can only, what's it called? It can only deal into a Shampoo, considering we see all 4 of the 8s. But that's very unlike... Oh shoot, now we have to think. I think it's 5 fun. Yeah. What was I saying again? Right. Yeah, the 9... Oh, is that dealing? No, it's not. The 9 so is very safe because we see all copies of the 8. So it can only deal into Shampoo or Tanki, but that's very unlikely considering they dropped the 8 very early. If they had a 9 in hand, they would have wanted to keep the 8 as well. Most likely. Yeah, so that's not really a it's a consideration, but it's really not something to worry about, basically. Like, the 9 is super safe here. Even if it's not 100% safe. Alright, enough of that rambling. Are we gonna be able to get through this safely? We have the 5 mon, which is basically safe too, but, like, I mean, technically someone could have gotten Tempai in these few turns, I guess. Like this player who seems to be pushing. Oh, it looks like the dealer is simoing anyways. Yep. Alright. Fair enough. How expensive is it this time? My god. No, this is Hanuman. Oh my god. And every single win has been very expensive. I'm just kind of scared. Not every single win. Actually, the player over here just won a 1500 point hand last turn. I just forgot about that because it was so insignificant. Anyways, what do we do with this hand? I mean, I guess there's chances for us to turn this into what's called Junchan. Is that really worth pursuing? I think it might be well, dude, the player to the left just discarded the 2-pin, and there was a pretty substantial lag when, yeah, okay. I do not want to keep this 3, please. Is the 3 better than the 1? I think it might be better than the 1. I'm still gonna drop the 3. Because if the player to the left of us dropped its 2 and there was this very substantial lag, it's pretty apparent that someone has at least a pair of the 2, and they were sort of, they had the prompt to call the 2-pin. I think it is fine for us to drop the 3 because of that information, but I could also just be reading the what's called extremely wrong. I could also just be reading the lag wrong. Like, what if someone just has, or what if the game is trying to bait me into thinking that it was, what's it called? That it was not actually, or that someone had a pair of 2s. Sometimes the game throws these like fake periods of lag to make these reads a little bit more difficult. Anyways, the dealer is calling. We're gonna T. Wait, are we gonna T? Hold up here. I don't think we're gonna T. Yeah, I do not really want to go on the offensive here because the player to the right and the left, sorry, the dealer right, has just overflown in their Sozu. I can't just drop Sozu willy-nilly against them and expect not to have, you know, an issue. Because the dealer, well, even if they're not flush, there's a good chance that they're already in Tempai considering how many middle tiles they've dropped. So I don't really want to go, you know, head-on against them when we don't really have value yet. That being said, if we can somehow, you know, draw the 2-so, then we will have, or like, you know, maybe get Sanjoku too. Then we will definitely have a chance, a shot at getting an expensive hand. Okay, that is not a good tile to draw, sorry. We cannot drop the south for sure. Or we can definitely not drop the south, I should say. So, yeah, this south is staying in our hand forever. I would really like to win because we are in 3rd place, but there are tiles that we cannot take. And south is one of them. For that reason, is 2 worth dropping? I think it probably is, yeah. Even though we're not interested in dropping it south, it could get safe just like that. And then it would be good for us to keep Tempai, or Ichanten, sorry, in that case. Yeah, so here we're gonna go ahead and drop the south because it just passed. And then the question is, well, this 4 is also pretty dangerous because, you know, this player could also not, the dealer could also not be a flush. And if they're not a flush, then the 4, well, it's one of the middle tiles that is pretty likely to be, you know, dangerous against them. Assuming they're not flush, that is. Considering quite a few Sozu passed against them, the chance that they are flush is a little bit lower at this point as well, which, did that drop from the hand? I don't think it did. Either way, the 5 is safe now. Which also makes the 4 more dangerous. As the 8 so passes to... Okay. Yeah, for the time being, we're still going to keep this 4 in hand, or keep Ichanten with the 4 as a floater. If we pair it up, we can just go ahead and drop the 1P, 1P, and that's not a problem at all. But the problem is if we never... Yeah, okay. Now that we have 2 tiles that aren't completely safe. I mean, okay, the 5 isn't really that dangerous, but yeah. The 5 isn't... Even though the 5 isn't really that dangerous, I'm willing to just, you know, break our Ichanten because it's not, like, completely safe, I guess. I don't really know. I'm just not gonna take our chances anymore, because it's just a little too late for us to worry about that. That being said, we can call Chi with this, I think, because even if after calling Chi we still have safety, right? We can fold if possible. And if we... Oh no. Shoot. If we can get Tempai, No, sorry, I'm not. No. 8. The player to the left hasn't changed their hand, I think. I was saying, if we do get Tenpai, I'm willing to push the 5. The problem is I'm not willing to push the 5 against the player to the right, so that is off the tables now. Gosh, is this deal in? Please don't deal in. Thank you. That deal in? It is deal in. Alright then. Yeah, I mean, maybe the cheat was bad after all. I'm not really sure. But it's not like the 7-8 was really safe anyways, so it's like, you know, we don't really lose that many safe tiles by calling the cheat, so it makes it easier for us to get Tenpai. I don't really feel too bad about it. Alright, either way, it is Eats 2, Repeat 3. This player has really been on fire. We have a hand that can be pretty on fire, honestly. There's a chance for the 7-8-9 Sanshoku, which is a source of value. If we don't get the 7-8-9 in time, well, we can draw something around the 3 as well. If we do draw something like the 2-so, right now, we'll just go ahead and drop the 8-so and take what's called take 6 blocks. We cannot chi the 9-man over here, however, even though it brings us closer to the Sanshoku, because it just ruins the entire point of the Sanshoku, which is value. And if we call the Sanshoku, it's going to only be 1 han, and there's really no point in calling for that. Alright, yeah. We'll go ahead and drop the 8 over here, just widening our acceptance. Wait, it doesn't even widen our acceptance, but if we draw the 2-so, we do. Never mind again. Fine, we'll drop the 1-so now. Yeah, drop the 1-so. I was gonna say, even though the 1-3 shape doesn't widen our acceptance, it makes or the 2-so draw gives us Pinfu confirmed, which is pretty decent, all things considered. Versus... What are we doing now? Shoot. I think we are supposed to drop the 1-pin, 1-pin. Okay. Versus... the Champong over here, right? The one on the 1-pin and 8. So, if we triple one of those up, then we have no value anyway. No, we still have no value, which is a problem. Here, we're gonna go ahead and drop the 1-pin, 1-pin because it makes it slightly easier for us to head over to Tanyao, right? If we draw the 6-pin, we can drop 9-pin, 9-pin, and then we are Ishanten for Tanyao, Pinfu, Sanshoku, which is pretty nice. That being said, the dealer is now called, which is not good news for us. Should we be scared? We should be scared. We should be scared, but how exactly do we handle this? I'm gonna go ahead and drop the 8-pin because it's Tsuchi against the dealer. I don't even want to drop the East, even though it's an honor, because it could totally, or if it deals in, we'll be dead, actually. Yeah. We'll be guaranteed to bust out. Because they have 3 Dora, and due to the 3 bonus sticks, that will be enough to knock us out into last place, which is very, very not good. So how are we going to defend against the dealer when we don't even have any save tiles? Well, you know what? We're gonna try, at least. We're gonna try. The 3-sos are now safe, or safe-ish, because, well, they're pretty unlikely to deal in, honestly. Because they can't deal into 3-6, they also are very unlikely to deal into 2-4 because, or the 2-4 Kanchan, because, well, there's only 1-2 left, and if they had a 2-4 Kanchan on the 3, then they probably would have kept the 2 for a lot longer. South is thankfully safe against the dealer. And yeah, we're just mega super duper folding here, as we've been saying since, like, I don't know, 5 turns ago. Yeah. The 9-pin is not safe either yet. Is 1 safe enough? I think 1 is safe enough. They haven't been changing their hand, which creeps me out, honestly. But yeah, I'm pretty sure 1 is safe. What was it safe? It might have been safe. Now the 9-pins are safer because we see all the 7s, which means that they can't, the 9s can't deal into the 6-9, right? The 7-8 waiting on 6-9. But it could still deal into, hell no, it's shown by. I'm gonna drop the 19s here. Yeah, I think it's okay to drop the 9s. I'm really scared to drop these honors against the dealer. Just because, I mean, I sort of have a feeling that uncut honors are more dangerous than uncut, what's called numbers at this point. If they are of the same safety level. But I don't even know if that's true or not. Either way, that's what I'm doing. So yeah. If we can afford it, I don't really want to drop the 6, so but I think we have to drop the 6 now. The reason why I didn't really want to drop it is because it might have dealt into the player to the right. But okay. Yeah. Yeah, 3-6, man. That is a extremely huge hand. This is Baimon, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count. I think it might have been Baimon. Either way, not really something we need to... No, it was just Honeyman. Okay, fine. I mean, I say just Honeyman, it's still a huge amount of points. Alright. Either way, let's focus. There's still plenty of game to go, as long as we don't bust out. So, yeah. Get back into the game. What are we doing? How are we doing it? I have no clue, dude. Gosh. I'm gonna drop the 2-man because I still want to keep the green dragon. As well as the Dora. Yeah, the Dora's value, the green dragon allows us to call. And then this thing... oh my god. I mean, yeah, we can drop the 2. Even if we draw the 4 or something like that, we're still, you know, sort of, kind of accepting it. Or, even if we draw the 3, we're still sort of kind of accepting it with the 5 anyways, although it's not really that great anyways. It's not really not that great either. Here... these numbers should probably be pretty decent because, well, they do give us... Is it Ishanten? No, not Ishanten. They just advance our hand because we still only have 4 blocks. I'm still pretty willing to keep the... Is it 7 here? I think it's 7. I'm still pretty willing to keep, like, the honor just because it allows us to call when we don't really have very good shapes. But having numbers around to get another block is pretty useful, yeah. I have to admit. At this point, it's probably correct to drop the Dora because our acceptance to get a 5th block is more important than the value. Probably. And we are still very intent on looking for the 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku still because I really want to be able to call, and 1, 2, 3 is one way for us to call. Although, you know, the fact that there's only 2 1-pins left makes that chance pretty difficult, to say the least. Yeah. Alright. Can we get into Ishanten, please? Oh no. That would be really nice. Thank you very much. You got 5. Anything around 5-mon, anything around 7. So, anything around 2, as well as 4. And 5, actually. We have a lot of ways to get into Ishanten. That is Ishanten. Yep, thank you. The problem with this Ishanten is that it's a pretty bad shape, but... Well, it's Ishanten. I'll take it. If we get into Tenpai, I'll definitely take that too. We'll call Riichi. Because there's no Riichi. That's bad when you're behind. Right? Right? I mean, I say we're behind, at least we're in 3rd place, but it's not great. Although, I mean, I guess it's pretty unlikely for us to get into what's called at this point anyways. It's pretty difficult for us to get into 2nd place anyways at this point, so for that reason you might be able to say that we're ahead because the only player who we really care about is the player in the last place at this point. That being said, well, I don't know, I still want to call Riichi to, you know, increase my lead against them. At this point, however, we're gonna be lucky if we even get into Tenpai. So the question is, are we gonna T for Tenpai and drop like a middle tile against the dealer? Not exactly sure if that is something we're willing to do. here we're gonna drop the 2-pin because we continue to be in Ishanten with the Kanchan over here. It's a much worse Ishanten, but I don't think I'm willing to drop the 3-so against the dealer anymore. This 2 is relatively safe, however, it's not exactly safe against the player who's just called Ricci, however, and now we have the chance for the Sanchoku, but it is so over. No, there isn't. We dropped the 1 a million years ago, sorry. Yeah, just drop the 1-pin because it's safe. If we can get into Tenpai, do we take it? I don't think we do at this point. Yeah, because 2 isn't exactly safe against the player across. I really would like to take it, but I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and fold. Drop a 3 or something like that to make sure the player to the right doesn't call it or something like that, I guess. I don't know. Okay, the 4 drops. The 4, however, could get called by the player to the right, so we gotta be a little bit careful, maybe. Is East safe? Yes, it's safe. Yeah, I don't really want to help the player to the right out if we can help it, so I don't really want to drop these tiles even if they are safe. That being said, at this point, well, okay, at this point we just drop the East, so it's fine. Huge. Okay. Player across has 258. Yep, that's pretty strong. And now it is East 3 finally. There's a stick on the board, which means that if the player to the right wins, we will be in big trouble. So let's try not to make that happen. And the best way to make that happen, or the best way to prevent the player from the right winning, is for ourselves to win. So let's try to do that. Is that going to get pwned? It is getting pwned. Okay, interesting. Now, what exactly is this 9 doing exactly for us? I mean, it can help us get Yishanten, so I guess, yeah, we'll just keep it around for that. It means we can accept the 6-pin to get into Yishanten as well, because it pairs up and then we can get a Kanchan. While the Kanchan's not very strong, it's still, you know, more acceptance, I guess. Do we drop the 1? Yeah, I think we do. This 9-pin also allows us to maybe get some kind of Yaku in either the Itsu or 789 Sanchoku, but both of them are pretty far-fetched, honestly. I'm still gonna keep it over the 1, however, though. What do you do here? I think it's 2-so because it doesn't really pair up very easily. Yeah, and we already have enough blocks anyways. Although it'd be nice to have something around there. Here it should be... sorry. Here it should be 9-pin. We have 258 weight in the Pinzu. We don't really need the 9 anymore for what's it called? For acceptance. So I'd rather keep the 3 over here, which could potentially make a good shape. Yeah. It is true that we've dropped the 1, but the 3 is still useful to us. So we'll keep it. The player to the right looks kind of scary. Most likely they're doing Toy Toy. But, yeah, I mean, most likely they're doing Toy Toy. Considering they haven't dropped any honors at all. And they pwned a 1, right? There's a possibility that they have... What is this? I don't really know. What is this? Does this give us any acceptance besides for the 6 and 2? I mean, even if it does only give us the 6 and 2, I think I'm fine with taking it, yeah. I'm pretty sure it just only gives us 6 and 2. Yeah, okay. Alright, well, that's fine, I guess. The player to the left won. I would have liked to win ourselves, but this is one of the better... this is one of the better situations. Better case scenarios. Yeah. Because even though we did not win, we have still widened our gap against last place. So now they have to win a relatively expensive hand in order to get back. It is all last. And even if we deal into a Mangan, we will actually still not, or a Mangan from the players not in last place. We will actually not fall down to last, so it's a decent proposition to just only keep tiles. against the dealer. And sort of try to win pretty aggressively. On the side. Yeah. There's a chance for us to get Itsu again, which could allow us to call. On the player to the left here has opened, which, do we call this? That was really silly. It's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth it. Fine, then don't take it. Not worth it, don't take it. Here, we're gonna drop the door, I guess, yeah. We have very good shapes already. I don't really want the dealer to, or I don't really want it in our hand for much longer. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it. It might have been better to drop the red dragon, but, well, whatever, I guess. Here we take Ichanten, now we can pull to get into Tenpai, which would be very nice. If we do not, if we draw into Tenpai, then we just do not call Riichi because there's just no reason to. We make it more likely for us to drop down to last place by doing so, and lower our win rate and all that. Well, probably, I guess. And if we draw the 8-man, we have no Yaku, so, like, you know, at that point we kind of have to Riichi, I guess. Is that Killian? Maybe it's best for us to drop the 5-8 already, because it's kind of dangerous. Is it really that dangerous? It's not really that dangerous, huh? Okay, never mind. Yeah, we'll keep the 5-8, I guess. What does it actually do to help us, though? If we draw the 4... The thing is, the Itsu is, like, totally dead at this point. Good point. Alright, so, with that in mind... Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and drop the 8-pin. Yeah, the 9-pins are totally dead, which means we can't get Itsu. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop 8-pin because 1 is slightly safer. So, you know, if the dealer, you know, calls Riichi, you know, we might be able to push by dropping the 1, for example. Seems possible. Here, we're gonna drop the 5-pin as well. If that deals into the player to the left, we'll be relatively happy. It does not. However, do we get into Tenpai? We do! This is amazing. We still have defense against the player, against the dealer, so if they do call Riichi, you know, there's a decent chance we will be able to fold just fine. And if they do not call Riichi, the chance that they have enough value to overtake us is very slim, considering that they have no usable real Dwa. They only have the red 5s at their disposal. So I don't feel threatened by them right now to, you know, fold. Or to defend, I should say. Yeah. Okay, now there's the Riichi. So we should be careful. If we have to drop something dangerous against them, then it's probably correct for us to just go ahead and defend, considering we do have 2 safe tiles against them, and a relatively good collection of tiles that are pretty safe, even if not 100% safe. That's not dealing into the dealer. This south is also not dealing to the dealer, so we can go ahead and keep this Tenpai. Would you like to deal in, please? That's not the one, sorry. Yeah, we won't roll on that one. However, what I can do now is drop the 8 mans, because we're not dropping the 4. Yeah, we're not dropping the 4 because it's dangerous against the dealer. But now we can drop the 8-man pair safely, and hope to attach something around the 4 so in order to get into Tenpai again. So we can, you know, get the Tenpai payments. That's kind of important. Yup, I mean, that's not exactly what I was looking for, but that's Tenpai. Is that Delian? It is Delian. Okay, sweet. And, yep, now we are in, well, 3rd place. We've avoided last successfully, so I'm happy. Well, I mean, yeah, I would like to win points at some point, but, you know, it's good to avoid getting last. Anyways, yep. See you guys next time.